Hey everybody, welcome back to this episode of Move Better Monday. Today we're talking about modifications for the 90-90. When it comes to the 90-90 position, sometimes this can be a little bit too aggressive for some people where they feel things in their back, it may be painful, you may notice discomfort in the knees. So for you, if you struggle to sit in the 90-90, in which this position we use a lot for training rotational mobility. So if I'm working through the front leg here, I'm working on external rotation mobility. I can also rotate into the back leg, work on some internal rotation. But sometimes people can't really do that. So one modification, this is a two-part series. Today we're going to be focusing on the external rotation component, or the lead leg that you saw there in the 90-90. And all you need here is a chair to do this. Now, the reason we even care about rotation is because that's what, when we lack rotation in the joint, usually those people will have much less movement capacity. They also have tissue issues where things are a little bit more higher tone, tighter. These people usually feel a lot of stiffness in the area. So rotation is one way that we can really start to open that up and improve some tissue quality and allow us to express better movement while we're either playing golf or doing any other task. So for the front leg where we're working external rotation, this is going to be the setup. You'll be sitting in a chair and you're gonna fold your leg over. Right? We call this a seated figure 4 position. Now, one thing, and it's not, we don't need our spine to be super straight, but I do like to keep my spine somewhat extended because it just helps me find the stretch a little bit better versus just kind of like folding. So I like to keep a little bit here. It's okay if the spine rounds a little bit as you load in and get a stretch through the lead hip. But we want to try to keep it more up, your chest upright versus completely slouched down. All right, so from here, I like to use my hands down and around my wrist and foot, and then I like to place my elbow up on the inside of my knee. So we're going to do some pails and rails here, right? So we're trying to expand external rotation as a modification for the 90-90 position. The pails contraction is going to be in this direction, right? I'm trying to create some internal rotation. So my knee's going to push into my elbow, all right, while my foot pushes down into my thigh. They're isometric contractions, so there's really going to be no movement here, but the idea will be the same. I'm going to take my knee and I'm going to start to push it up into my elbow with about 20% max effort, and the same thing goes with my foot as it pushes down into my knee. That 20% contraction is going to go up to 40%. That 40% intensity level is going to get ramped up to 60%. Keep slowly adding percentage points till it's at 80%. And you're going to keep going until you're at 100%, or the highest level of contraction you can make without pain. The pails contraction here will then be held for 10 seconds. And then when the pails contraction is done, the rails contractions do the opposite. So I'm going to try to pull my knee closer to the floor, trying to create more external rotation. But at the same time, I'm trying to lift my foot up or try to push my ankle into my hands here. So we're trying to create that nice external rotation and get stuff on the inner side of the thigh here strong. And we're just trying to create awareness and strength in this position as we open up mobility over time. When you're done with the 10-second rails contraction there, you're going to keep yourself in the new position. Kind of put my elbow on my knee and keep it locked in. I don't want to come back up to where I started. I want to keep it locked in there at that end range, and I want to repeat this for 2 more rounds. So give that a try, 3 rounds on each side. I also like, especially if the area is not moving very well, there's a lot of mobility restrictions, I want to add a 2-minute hold at the end there. So 2-minute hold at the end after 3 rounds of the pails and rounds. Give that a try. We'll see you next week.